Alright, guys, welcome back to The Letter. Now, this is, um, a very interesting game, to say the very least. But, hey, we're here, so let's play. Yes, load game file. Load game file, please. Arriving at our penthouse, my first order of business is to get into bed. Forget a hot bath and forget the tea. I just want to bury myself in blankets and forget everything in my slumber. It seems that Luke has the same idea in mind, as he tags along behind me. And this is something I will not allow the moment I pass through the door.
Out.
What the bloody hell, woman? This is my bedroom too!
Luke stands flabbergasted as I deny him entry into our chambers. His pillows lie on the cold, tiled floors away from the warmth of our soft, down bed, and my gaze promises him the same fate if he does not budge on this matter.
Don't even try to argue, because I am very cross with you, Luke Wright. You can take the second bedroom or the guest room if you wish, but I do not want to see you at all for the rest of the night.
Damn, bro.
Johans!
Our butler wanders over, a curious expression on his face. He doesn't quite hurry, moving at a relaxed pace no matter how angry his master sounded.
No, you are not allowed to sleep in my room, sir.
That's not what I mean! Help me talk some sense into her!
There is no sense in questioning her right to be angry, sir. So, if I might be excused, I'll go prepare the second bedroom for you.
I have to keep a straight face as he stomps away in defeat.
Mutiny! This is mutiny! The system is being upturned, and the people are rioting, and everything is left asunder!
It isn't that deep, buddy. It isn't every day that Luke is rendered speechless by someone he considers inferior, or to yield to another authority without an ulterior motive. His pride just won't allow it. I do keep telling the man to treat his people better. He may throw whatever fits he wants, but he will not be getting his way tonight. Victorious, I celebrate by jumping face first onto our bed. Undignified, yes, but nobody's here to judge me anyway. Right? Nobody's here to tell me what to do. Yet, as I succumb to sleep, I can hear them whisper to me. I can hear them whispering. Now she's hearing it. Calling for me. They want me. Need me. They drown me, pull me down, and suffocate me in their embrace until I sink to the bottom. A deep abyss awaits, inviting yet for bodying. They're calling to me. From in there, aren't they? And I do want to help, I do. But when I try to reach out, something pulls me back. Like a hook sinking itself into my stomach. And I break through the surface with a gasp. Alone in bed and without Luke to hog the covers, I am swathed in cloth and slicked with sweat. It takes me a while to untangle myself and kick them all off. Both the bed and I are a right mess by the end of it all, but I am more than eager to just get up and go out for some fresh air. The days past had gone by a blur. We hadn't talked much, Luke and I, outside of necessity. In fact, we've hardly talked beyond the topic of, I don't know that word, of properties. Properties being the mansion, obviously. Everything has been so busy that I haven't talked to anyone outside of business, and it's just so stressing. So one can understand my need for a good chat, preferably over a good meal. There are times when any decent, emotionally healthy, and socially capable person need a good friend. One who will talk to them without the conversation degrading or turning into an argument. Or bearing a nearby friend. I have an interior designer under a confidentiality agreement to listen to me.
Hiya! Come on now!
The place is bustling with movers carrying furnitures here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. I can hear Luke barking at them in the other room, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now! I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings.
Damn, Luke. Okay.
Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
It was hard to tune him out. The walls did not do a good job of muffling him at all. But then again, it is Luke. I would still hear him ranting even if we were on the opposite sides of the mansion and I'm wearing earplugs.
I'd really like to thank you for inviting me to breakfast, Mrs. Wright.
Marianne! I forgot about Marianne. What's good, Marianne? I forgot about you. I did, actually. I don't know how I forgot about you, Marianne. I'm sorry. Also, y'all, tomorrow's going to be a little bit different. There won't be a letter video out tomorrow. It's going to be the letter video, but it won't be a gameplay video. I'm actually going to be doing a Lairs character tier list, where I go a little bit into depth about my actual thoughts on some of the characters we met. Isabella is not in that tier list, and the reason being, because just like in my heart, she's gone. She's gone! I wonder where she went. I wonder if she's still alive out there. I hope she is. Man, that ending still gets to me. Why don't we get to know if she's still alive? I mean, we're probably going to figure out... we're probably going to figure out in the story. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling great.
But I already ate, so I should really go back to work.
Nonsense! You arrived so early, you must not have gotten a proper meal. Our butler has made a surprisingly lovely bubble and squeak. Sit, sit! I'd situate us in the dining hall, but it is a mess right now. Oh, Johannes!
The man in question appears, ready with a tray as he starts to set the table for us. We sit in silence as we are each served a plate. Bubble and squeak, topped by a nicely poached egg with cherry tomatoes and other garnishes, adoring the edges of the plate. A cup and saucer and a teapot with some Earl Grey is placed down for Marianne, and I ask for Orange Julius.
How are you liking the project?
Drop that vase and I'll have your head! I know it's only an 8 million yen vase, but I swear, I'll...
Well, it's certainly a fun challenge, incorporating the designs of a Jacobean manor and the functionality of a modern household.
You know what? Great statement, Marianne, but goddamn, Luke's being aggressive.
I have ideas I would like to suggest, by the way, about what to use the second bedroom for. I have been informed of your goddaughter and thought a kid-friendly room might be in order.
You read my mind. I was actually going to bring that up. Oh, that would just be so lovely, Marianne. That way, Kylie can bring her friends over as well. And a good friend of mine, Rochelle, is expecting a baby. So, why don't we think about putting a crib in there too? I can just imagine little ones running around, filling this place with the pitter-patter of their feet.
Yes, let's bring children into the haunted mansion. Yes, Hannah. Woo!
We'd have to make sure they don't trip and fall on the stairs, though.
Good point.
We won't be able to finish everything up until after the party.
Shut up.
But we'll have it ready by then, so that all we need to do is to move in the furnishings.
Yes, that's plenty fine. It's not like we're in a hurry to have it. And we wouldn't want the workers to disturb the guests or the other way around, do we? Just make sure it's presentable. You know, in case a guest snoops about.
Of course. As for the kitchen you wanted, I've already negotiated for the high-end stoves and the hot and cold drawers, so on and so forth. I've got a friend who is able to customize them so that they'll look like the counters we'll be replacing and fit the rest of the interior. They'll be bringing them in today.
Why can't you people do anything right? Don't drag it. You'll scratch the wood.
Luke, calm down, bud, okay? Calm down!
Excellent. But no, really, how have you liked it so far?
Oh, it has been wonderful, believe me. Everything is going smoothly too. It has been a long time since I've worked on something on this grand a scale. Nowadays, everyone is about condos and flats, living in the city where every room is an identical box. Believe me, this is very refreshing.
We lived in a condo before this, Marianne.
I didn't mean any insult.
It's fine, sweetie. Look at you, all frazzled. I was just pulling your leg. Luke wanted that penthouse when we got married, and you can thank him for purchasing this place as well.
Of course, she has every right to be. She's no doubt overheard me push the estate agent into making the sale, making quite the aggressive offer. She saw me sign the papers for the mansion as well. I just had to scoff.
Don't be fooled. I'm just the treasury. I wouldn't be able to make a purchase this grand without his seal of approval.
Damn.
I see.
That's it. That's all you have to say.
Yes, it wouldn't be appropriate to comment further. It is unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
I can't help but let out a deep sigh as I stick a fork into the dish. I didn't want professional. I want someone who will either agree with me, even if it's just for the sake of agreeing, or someone who will try to talk some sense into me. Neutral responses are so boring. There's no discourse in the middle ground.
The food is good. Best bubble and squeak.
Of course it is. Our kitchen staff only uses the freshest hand-picked ingredients. Only the best for the rights.
Mr. Wright is not joining us?
No, he's far too busy bossing people around. He even refused to join me for breakfast earlier, hence this.
I see. My apologies. I really don't know what sort of response you expect to get from me.
There is the clatter of silverware as I slam my hands on the table. It is frustrating. I am frustrated. At Luke, mostly. But Marianne's neutral professional answers are certainly irksome as well.
You're a human with feelings and opinions, aren't you? Don't give me this bollocks about being professional when we're having a nice friendly chat over a nice and friendly breakfast. I can only talk about interior designs for so long, and I detest one-sided conversations, Marianne.
But I really don't know what to say, Mrs. Wright. We were talking of no topic in particular, and...
Luke. We were talking about Luke.
About him not eating breakfast with you?
About him treating me as if I were some treasury.
I didn't realize I shouted that out loud until it was too late. There was a stunned silence that settled before I slumped back into my seat. Hiding my face behind my hands, I can feel my shoulders shake. Breathe, I told myself, calm down. But this is just too hard.
Honestly, sometimes I feel like he doesn't love me anymore. Oh, have I been so blind? Did he ever love me at all? Was our marriage all for the sake of saving his company and his wealth? Because...
Because?
Did I say that out loud again? No, this is bad and unacceptable. It has been rumored before the real reason of our engagement, but if anyone were to know of this... Marriage of necessity to carry on political and financial power used to be a common thing, but the Evans-Wright union was perfect happily ever after. Was supposed to be. It is true that when we first met each other, in order to discuss dealings and to make the then failing Wright Enterprises subsidiary for Evans Incorporated. But I do remember being in love with him. And there were times when he said he loved me back, even if I'm not sure of what the truth is now. Either way, I do not want the right name or the Evans name dragged through the mud because it was slip-up. Well, I'm not going to threaten her. I'm going to ask for her silence. So far, she's been reasonable and accommodating, even towards Luke's ridiculous requests. Patient and professional. Did it only extend to business? Or would she just be able to understand that things like this are not as simple, not as clean as they're painted to be? Certainly I can talk to her. Ask for
I
her.
won't speak a word, Mrs. Wright. Not only am I contractually obliged to, it would also go against my principles. This is no one else's business but your own, and it should be kept between the two of you. And whoever you wish to seek counsel from.
Please, Marianne. You have to understand. These sort of affairs. If anyone were to know this, they could just twist it and we'll be ruined. All I ask for is your silence on the matter.
If I am to be frank, Mrs. Wright, this isn't new for me. You aren't the first, and you certainly won't be the last to have complicated dealings.
True. You know what? That's actually true. And Marianne, she's a interior designer. She's probably worked for a lot of couples, especially richer couples. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she's heard this stuff. She's probably also had friends or other people with her job even. You know, it's one of those things. So yeah.
Unless what you're doing is illegal, I turn a blind eye.
Thank you. Can I trust her?
If I wasn't in the same boat, I'd be trying to pry those secrets and gossip with you about them by now.
Well, I'm keeping that information confidential as well.
That's funny. It's not like I have any other choice, do I?
Thank you.
We continue to eat our meal in peace, finishing the last of the food and drink. When the door to the parlor opened, Marianne and I are just sitting in silence.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
I give him nothing but a small nod.
This was a wonderful meal, Marianne. You're free to return to your duties. I must excuse myself.
It was my pleasure.
My pleasure!
And thank you for the food as well.
Of course. Of course. I loved having this meal, Marianne. Making my way downstairs, I look back and see Marianne give me a nod and a small smile. That certainly put me in lighter spirits. An interview with Luxury Living. That is today, isn't it? Oh, yes. People had caught wind of our new mansion in the very moment we left the open house. Oh my god, if I wasn't coughing constantly, wouldn't it be nice, huh? You guys must hate that. Luca boasted he could acquire the property in no time. I allowed a photo shoot from Interior Design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications and it took longer than it usually does for us. Hopefully I won't have any other unfortunate slips up with someone who isn't bound by confidentiality. The mansion grounds have been one of the first things to be fixed up aside from the bedroom. Although it is still a work in progress, it had a promising start, and I can already see the flower patches. Luke's favorite daffodils stand out easily, having been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftop of her penthouse. Why, if the moving crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they clearly didn't see the landscaper on his way out. That man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion. It is in the gardens I see him standing near the flowers in quiet admiration. He He is hard to miss. The hulk of a man that clearly did not belong, and the big backpack and suitcase he has with him makes him look much larger. Is a peculiar sight, seeing someone who looks like he does handling little, delicate things with such care. He looks up from the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his serene expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living, ma'am. Hope you weren't waiting too long.
Yo, it's Zachary! Zach, what's good? I already knew it was Zach, but it took me a second. Because I was like, yo, is that Zach? Is that Zach, brah? Is that Zach, brah? And it's Zach, bro.
But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
You look familiar. Have we met?
I have a very wide social circle, so everyone looks familiar at one point or another. But one would think I'd remember someone who stands out like him. The struggle to recall must have been very evident on my face as he quickly and kindly answers my question.
I was with Isabella, your estate agent, when she had the house blessed.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Isabella, my girl. She's literally the best. I, hope she's still alive. I'm biased because she was the one who I started playing as, and I got a connection with her because of her family and everything. But shut up.
Small world, isn't it?
Should have known you were Miss Wright.
The one and only. Welcome to Maison de Right. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as agreed, but it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning product. Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hannah. If I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hannah.
Alrighty then. Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright. Hannah.
Zachary proves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with the camera and experience in this industry at the very least. He's kind and courteous, listening and following as I lead him around the house. A really nice fellow, and he treats our household staff well whenever we cross paths with them. Answers his questions to the best of my ability, and he's patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. For one, I ask what the bags are for. They're quite the magician's toolkit. From inside, he had procured several items to embellish the interior with. Rolls of fruits, lemons, trays with pepper mills, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards and glass canisters filled with colorful nuts and grains are brought in for the kitchen setting. For the bathroom, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, all in that large backpack and suitcase.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights. Don't tell me all of these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot, it'll look great.
Oh, it better.
The ballroom needs a little preparation with its grand design. Although there is some trouble at first with the wide open space and the pictures being backlit. It is in the kitchen that Zachary's props come in handy. Considering how Johan's kept the place so neat and sterile, one can practically eat off the floor. We carry on touring the house, taking pictures where we can, with exception to the rooms which have yet to gain a purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek of his photos yet. Funnily enough, he is using a traditional camera. I didn't even know film still existed. With the way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft that I'm not too worried about botched photographs. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him, judging by how at ease he looks while taking pictures. There are small snippets of conversation in between the clicking of the camera. He even goes far as to talk about these terminologies like shutter speeds and aperture when I ask about the technical aspects. I can't quite see the picture as it is made, much like when I watch artists paint on their canvas. But just watching someone passionately practicing their craft such as this is exciting in its own way. Going through the many rooms has been quite the exercise for the both of us. Despite that, he has been so nice, and I find myself putting on my best smile. But it's as we're taking pictures in the foyer that everything comes to a standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And had I not been paying attention, I wouldn't have even noticed. It was merely a split second when Zachary's rhythm was put to a halt. His finger doesn't move to release the shutter. Yet he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face. Gaze still fixed through the viewfinder. His hands shake and there is a light sheet of sweat on his forehead.
Zachary?
No response.
Zach? Is something the matter?
Lowering his camera, he blinks and stares at something behind me before shaking his head. Turning around, though, I see nothing that could have gotten his attention.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something, that's all.
Zach, listen, bro. It's okay. It's alright, Zach. Zach, it's okay, dude. We've all been seeing the same thing. Isabella, me, you now. It's all fine.
Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
I struggle to respond this time. There's some weight on my back and an indescribable tightness around my throat. Everything stops. And everything starts again as I manage to choke
If
out.
you're sure.
I don't know what just happened. It was probably just a dizzy spell. I'm fine. And he said he's fine. We continue at the same pace as before, although there is an unspoken agreement that we will not talk about what happened.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job.
True.
It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do.
Understandable. But alright, guys, I'm going to end this video off here. I think that was very creepy, to say the very least. But, me and Marianne are on good terms, I guess. But I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.